Hello, everyone. Welcome to YPC Media's webinar series. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Danielle Henderson. I am the Vice President here at YPC Media, and I will be your moderator today. Leading us through optimizing your Meta Business Suite will be our amazing Director of Operations and Marketing, Katie Fitzgerald. We've really been listening to our clients when it comes to social media, and one of the biggest things that we're hearing is confusion around Facebook assets and the Meta Business Suite. This is confusing to say the least, but it is so important that you understand how to own your profiles and get in. So we want to empower you with the tools and resources to do that today. So Katie, let's jump in and get started.
Yeah, thank you, Danielle. And I think, based on this topic, there's so much that we could cover, but we're going to try to keep it very simple, make sure that you all know how to recognize what the Meta organization is, how it's set up, how you need to be accessing it to make sure that you own all of your business assets, and of course, being able to manage your team as well. So today we're going to be going over the full Meta organization. I'm going to try my very best to show you how everything is set up as of right now. We know that Meta continuously changes. We're going to go through Meta Business Suite. We're going to look at business portfolio. So that's some newer terminology that I'll be going through. And of course, I want to leave you all with some resources because I know that there can be issues out there or you're wondering what's next. So we want to go through some of those resources and FAQs. So to get right into it, we're going to start with the Meta overview. This screen is really my best attempt to show you all how Meta is set up. So the first thing to understand is all users that use Facebook, whether it's business or not, start with a personal Facebook account. So that is you as an individual. So that's me, Katie, as myself on there. That's the profile that I interact with my friends, family, those types of things that I'm looking through my newsfeed on my own. That account is now in charge of what gets access to business pages. We know that over 10 years ago, if you created your business page, you maybe created a separate login. You've had a company or a marketing company create that. Maybe even YPC created that for you. And that route is no longer. It is now just a personal Facebook account, and you get access to pages beyond that. So really these arrows here pointing over are the different ways that you can access your business resources. So how Facebook is now set up is that personal Facebook accounts would get access to a business manager or a business portfolio. The goal of that is really to manage all of the assets around that business. So now you can have a business page. You might even have multiple business pages based on how many locations you have. That's also where you have your ad accounts, data sources and pixels. If you sell products, that's even catalogs, and it goes on and on from there. So depending on how your business may be set up currently, most all businesses have a business manager or a portfolio. You might have gotten wrapped up into one, and we're going to go through all those details. So that personal Facebook account gets access to that manager that gives access to all those assets. Other ways that you may have access to your business page is from your personal Facebook account directly to the business page, where you might have been added as an admin, a manager. There's even analyst roles. There's a ton of different roles that you could be receiving. So you may get it directly through there. Through that would get you also access to your Meta Business Suite. So your personal Facebook account may have direct access to these two pieces. Or through the business manager. So this can be a really confusing way. This is how Meta is now set up. So we're going to keep diving into a few things, and I want to take you guys right directly into the platform. So as I hop over there, I want to preface Facebook is set up. I'm hoping that we won't have any hiccups on here. We're going to go through a couple things there. So Danielle, you can see my Facebook page now.
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. And so what you guys are looking at right now is Katie Fitzgerald's home screen on her Facebook. So this is what I see when I log in and just type in facebook.com. I am going to be showing you everything from desktop today. I'll try to notate where some things can be available on your app. I will preface that if you are looking for management or admin pieces of your business page, my best advice is accessing from your desktop. There are some pieces of admin that you can't access via the mobile apps. So make sure that whenever it comes to changing things or anything like that, that you're accessing it on desktop. So I am on my personal profile. You can see that up in the right-hand corner. You can see my profile picture. You can also see it over here. When you're on this page, the way that you can see your business page is you're going to click on your icon and it's going to drop down your business page. If you have access to that business page in any capacity, you will see that here. If you do not see it here, you do not have access. So that's going to be your easiest way to determine if you do have access to that business page or not. Once we do that, we're going to select our business page, and that's going to refresh the newsfeed here for us. So now I am acting as YPC Media. This is YPC Media's newsfeed. So that can also be confusing for some people when you have to flip back and forth. This is available right in the Facebook app as well. You can flip between your business page and your personal page and go through this. So if I were to scroll through the newsfeed here, I would be acting as YPC Media. Any content that I engage with, that user would see it from YPC Media. So far, now we're going to go through and look at our settings. So the way to get to our settings here is if you again click in the upper right corner, the profile image, we are going to go to settings and privacy, and we're going to go to settings. What we're going to go through here is just some important areas that you should be able to be familiar with and understand as a business owner. This is really important to make sure that you know how to access these pieces. So the number one thing available in here is all your admin controls. A lot of you can access your posts, your stories, and all that. What I want to show you is the page setup. So when you come to that page setup, this is where you can edit your name, and these three tabs here, the ones that I'm going to be going over, I think are the most important when accessing your page. So the first thing here is page access. When you come into this, this is going to show anybody that has control or access to act upon your page. Up at the top here, this is going to be your people, like I was showing on that screen of direct access to the page. These are the users that have just direct access to the page. They do not have access to any of your other assets that belong to your portfolio. The second thing down here is that business portfolio. So now all business pages belong to a business portfolio in one way or another. So if you come here, you'll be able to see what portfolio it belongs to, and you'll see that it shows the Facebook page below. Now, this is really where a lot of, I know our customers and users find themselves in a little bit of trouble, right? Because of the way that things have changed, a lot of Facebook pages did not get prompted to create business portfolios. If you guys aren't, a Facebook expert out there, you likely didn't know that this change even happened. And what Facebook ended up doing was rolling a lot of Facebook pages right up into business portfolios of a partner or the highest level admin on the account, whatever portfolio they could find. So what we've found even here at YPC is if maybe we helped you create your page, or we had admin access to your page and maybe have run content for you or ads in the past, it may have gotten rolled up to our business portfolio. We are seeing that happen to a lot of other agents. If you work with another agency, you may have gotten wrapped up into their portfolio. So one of the things that's definitely important for you to look at is what portfolio that is. You ideally want it to be your business, but if you don't recognize that name, we're going to get to in resources what you can do from there. Because our goal here today is that we want you to have access every which way to your business assets. So that is our page roles. In here too, you can add users directly to the page if you ever needed to do that in-house, but I'll show you some other ways that you can do that. So I am going to go back to our page setup. Another great tool in here is page management history. This is going to show all of the admin controls that have been done on your account. So if you are an admin, you'll be able to see this. So this is any adding, removing, major updates to your profile. So this is just good to see if you ever need to track down maybe who added it to a portfolio, who last had admin, all those types of things. There's a lot of use for that here. So next one is page status. So this one is typically really great because we do have a lot of customers or businesses that come to us and say, I am suspended. I can't run ads. I have no idea what I did wrong. Why am I not doing that? This is typically where my next look is to why you're maybe not able to run ads or no longer able to post. Facebook does have community standards, so if you do violate those in any way, those will be shown right here. If you have outstanding payments, maybe from old ads or from old companies that you worked with that didn't pay off ad accounts, that would also show here as well. So right now you can see YPC has no pages used, but if you did, those would show, all those violations would show up here. It does allow you to appeal any of those suspensions as well. So this is just a great tool to be able to access here.
Katie, I don't know if you can zoom in at all. It's got the entire browser, but it's, as we get into the littler pages, it's a little bit difficult to see.
Okay.
I don't know if you can zoom in on that a little bit more for them.
Is that a little better?
That's perfect.
Okay, great. It helps my eyes too. So the next thing I want to show you all in the settings in privacy is linking your Instagram account. So if you do not have an Instagram account, I highly suggest you go in and make one. You can make that right on the Instagram app, right on your desktop. You can also make it directly through your Facebook page. So when you scroll down in settings and privacies, there is linked accounts. And Facebook allows you to link to an Instagram account and a WhatsApp account. So you can see YPC Media's Instagram is already connected here. If you did not have a Instagram connected, it will look just as the WhatsApp does right here where it shows not connected. You'd be able to click that button and go ahead and log in with your Instagram credentials and connect that there. It would also prompt you to create a Instagram account if you don't have one. So to take a look, here's what, when your account is connected, what it will look like. It shows the access that it has, and it shows the profile. You can easily click over and see which one it's connected to. If you have any errors with the connection, it's going to show that here in big red letters. It will show that there is an error. Please reconnect. We have seen a lot of issues here. One of the things that I will recommend if you are seeing that is to completely disconnect your Instagram account and try to reconnect it. If that doesn't work, I would disconnect it and I would go update your password for Instagram and then come back and try to connect it. Sometimes that has helped. So just a few tips on if you're having issues with your Instagram account getting connected. All right, Danielle, did we have any questions yet?
Not in regards to the content yet. No, I'll let you know.
Okay, great. So the next thing I'm going to do is hop over to the Meta Business Suite. So the easiest way, there's a couple ways to get there. The easiest way I'm going to show you all today is by typing in business.facebook.com up in your browser. There are a couple ways that we can navigate through that, but this is for simple sake here, that's what we'll do. Once we get to our Meta Business Suite, you can see the whole interface changed. So if you actually try to do this on your app, there are two different applications on your app for that. So that's where, I want to really stress for right now is, especially if you're a beginner at some of this, access it via desktop. You do have to download the Meta Business Suite separately on your phone. So once we're logged in, you can see I'm under YPC Media. You're going to see the business here, both Facebook and Instagram. If you have multiple locations or you have access to a couple different platforms, say you have a side hustle or a secondary business, you would be able to click that drop down and view those. You can see over in the upper right corner, it's showing my profile image because Facebook does track the individuals that are making changes and posting content to a business page. So the Meta Business Suite is great for a few reasons. One is that you can come in and create posts. You can create reels and stories and utilize all of the fun audio that the platforms offer. You can also schedule that content out. So a few things that you can access here in the left-hand bar is your inbox. So any of your messages that come in, you can also set up some automations. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go through all these, but if you do run any lead campaigns or through your ads, you can access those leads here. There is also a content and planner tab in here. So this is where you actually schedule out content, create content. So really great tools if you don't have a scheduling platform or you're looking to save content or work amongst your team. Those are great tools. There are some ad capabilities right in the Meta Business Suite as far as boosting posts and selecting some audiences. You can do that right here. And then definitely the most important I think is your insights. So if you haven't looked at your insights on your Facebook page before, I highly recommend going to look at it. It shows all of
just zoom in for them too, because every time you change it, it pulls out a little bit.
Okay. How's that look? Good?
Better. Yep.
Thank you. So this is going to be all of your performance on any posts that you put up. You can actually look into your audience as well, how many new followers you're getting, their most active time, which is super important when trying to post content, knowing when your people are online, and then looking into the exact content and how each post is performing. So now we went through our Meta Business Suite and our business page. So those are the ones where you might have direct access. The next thing that I would recommend that you check is getting into your business portfolio. So this is the newer part that I don't think a lot of business owners have looked at. The simplest way to get there from here is when you're in your menu here is hitting settings. So this is going to take you to the business settings, and it's going to take you right into, you can see up here, business portfolio. A lot of the terminology has changed. This is a business portfolio. People do refer to this as a business manager as well. So both of those terms are correct for this. So once you log in here, you have still your Meta Business Suite over on the left-hand side, but now we have a new menu created within this. So this is going to be all of our administrative tasks can be handled right through there. And Danielle, tell me if it gets too small again. I'm going to, as I flip through some of the tabs here. So the first thing here is your business portfolio info. For the sake of our screen share today, I can't click into this, but your portfolio info would show any tax exemptions, your business ID number, some of those things, as well as address, and that you can verify your business through there. It's not available for all businesses, but if you have run ads before or that type of thing, you should be eligible to verify your business. What that does is just adds an extra layer to your business portfolio as far as really securing it with Meta. The next thing is managing your users. So if you are on the business page, like I was showing you before in the page setup, and you can't add any people through that route, it is because Facebook's prompting you now to come through and add via your business portfolio. So you would come through and manage all of your people. So for a company like YPC Media, we obviously have a ton of account managers and media buyers that are working for us. They all have different levels of access to our page. So all of those individuals are here. We can also invite people via the invite button here. So that is how you would give access to individuals to any of your assets. The next one here is partners. So this is really also a newer way to give agencies or other businesses access to your page and assets. So if you were to come into your partners, this is where you could add, say you are working with YPC Media, you'd be able to add us to your page or your ad account, something right through this partners tab. The next thing I'm going to hop down to is under your accounts. This is where your pages are all held. So you likely would see just your page in here, and you would also be able to show anything as far as who has access to that through the business portfolio. You can see here it's even showing not in the business portfolio, but there is a user on that as well. Then you can also see ad accounts. So any of those available are in here. This is where it's really great for you to actually set up your own ad account. We would want you to do that because we want the business owner to own that. All agencies moving forward should be urging you to create your own ad account here. There is something to, when you start your ad account, that longevity and showing Meta that you have run long-term. It is also all your data. You want to make sure that you own that. So making sure that you have your ad account right in your business portfolio is super important. There's also a ton of other resources in here under data sources. This is your catalogs, pixels. We start getting really into the nitty-gritty there. So I'm going to scroll past some of that. But you would also have your billings and payment available in here. That's where you can add on your credit card to run ads and store that there. You'd be able to access any invoices and things like that. And then the last thing is just showing you guys that Meta Verified is available to all businesses. You can go ahead and sign up. Through that, it shows you some of the paid options. It is now paid to get a verified check mark. So if that's something you're interested in, all of that is available here. So I am going to hop back over to my slides, and we're going to dive into some FAQs, unless, Danielle, there are any that we should start with.
The one thing before you jump into FAQs, if you could just revisit the first slide and kind of, I think that going through it, we had a little bit of feedback. Remind them now that they've seen it, what each one is primarily for, again, one more time, so that when they go back, it'll be easier.
Sure. Yeah. So again, where I started out was on my own profile. So that's your personal Facebook account. When from there, we went directly to our business page. So you can access the business page directly from your Facebook account. So I hopped right into that business page. Then we went right into our Meta Business Suite. So we cut right from our personal page to our business page to the Meta Business Suite. Then we went back to our personal account, And I showed you all how to go over to the business manager, the business portfolio. So that's all of your admin and assets. And that's where we just finished up, was looking at all of our different assets. So you saw the business pages, the people, the partners, the ad accounts, and the Pixel catalog and all of those.
Perfect.
Do apologize for going so fast. I want to fit a lot into this session, but we'll get to some resources, and hopefully that will help you all leave with something today too, to look at and go through. So I think the number one FAQ per se that we get is, I can't access my business page. What should I do? So the first thing that you could definitely start with is, double checking that you for sure don't have access. So right when I went in, we went to facebook.com, we were looking at our personal page, we clicked on our profile image, and if you don't see a business page there, that means you don't have access. And the first thing that I will show you to do is to go to your actual business page. So if there is one that is living out there that is your business and you don't have access, one of the things you can do is visit that page and go to the About tab. What that's going to show is your business info, and then a cool feature that they put on is page transparency. What this does is shows admin info about the page. All of the different pages are going to offer a different amount of information, especially depending on how many admins, or if it does belong to a business portfolio, that type of thing. But you can see in here, it does show the business portfolio it belongs to. So YPC Media is responsible for this page. That may help you track down, maybe if it's a vendor you worked with super long ago, it might spark you some memory about that. I will say the best chance you have and the quickest chance you have to get access again to your business page is to track down somebody that does, whether it's an ex-employee, an old vendor, whether it could just be somebody in-house that you didn't realize was the only owner on the account. I would track down that and contact anybody you can to try to get access back to that. It's going to be your quickest route, but of course, not always something you can do, right? If you can't make contact with that. We've had, situations where these companies gone out of business and they were the last ones that had ownership, and there's just no way that you can contact them. So the next thing you're going to do is go to the Meta Business Help Center. So if you scan that QR code, that's something that it's a Meta Business Help Center. You can type in some things and find some articles that may be able to help. But the biggest thing that you could do is click this Start Now button, and it's going to walk you through a couple questions, and it will actually get you to a Facebook chat where you're actually talking to someone. Facebook does do all of their chats with their team through Messenger. So you have to be connected to your profile to that. You always would reach out to Facebook. I think this is really important, is Facebook will never just contact you via Messenger. You would have to prompt them and open up a ticket for support. They wouldn't just message you through that. So we see a lot of spam out there that comes through. So just don't get tricked by any of that. Make sure you know that, you would have to prompt Facebook to chat. Going to our second FAQ here is, what if I can't get into my personal Facebook account? Say you forgot your password, it timed out, that you tried too many times, or maybe the recovery is an old email. I know for me, even when I signed up for Facebook, 15 years ago, I signed up with an AOL email, and you maybe just didn't get a chance to make that update. So if you can't get into that, this screenshot here is going to facebook.com/hacked. Even if you don't think you were hacked and you can't access it, this is still the best channel for you to go to. What it's going to do is, if you are not logged in, it's going to actually take you through how to verify your account. So what they typically do is ask you for some of your personal information, and they will ask you to upload a photo of yourself and your license so that they can verify you're actually who you say you are. If you do have access to your account, it will show you that, and it will give you a couple different options of things. So if you do truly think maybe you were hacked, or you run into something like this, they do give you some options there where you'd be able to open up support tickets. Again, the support is very lengthy processes, but it is your best chance to get any of these accounts recovered. And I think our last most asked question is, I have admin access to my business page, but I don't have access to the business manager /portfolio. So that last piece that I was showing you. what you can do is go to that page access that we looked at very in the beginning and take a look at who the business portfolio has here. So all of them will show some business portfolio. You can get that ID number and you'll see the Facebook page attached to that. I will say, again, the best way to do that is try to contact whoever that business portfolio is. So if it's another vendor, if it's something that you really don't think that you recognize or can't recover, or you can't remember, there is a way, if you are an admin directly on the account, to select to remove from the business portfolio. What this does is sends a request to that business portfolio. Anybody that's in that business portfolio would get a notification that you made the request for the page to be detached from that. And unfortunately, you'd have to wait for somebody to approve that request. Facebook doesn't just give it to anybody, which of course it can be good. That's a good thing, but it does elongate the process. After a couple attempts of trying to remove this, if there is no response from that owner of the business portfolio, you then will be prompted to be able to open a ticket from there. So this is a really lengthy process. It can take 60 days, I've seen in some cases, to get to the point where you can do that. But there's definitely try to reach out to whoever you can to try to find another way at that point. Okay, and that was the end of our FAQs, Danielle. I know we had some additional resources, but I wanted to pause if there were any other questions.
If anybody has any additional questions, please put them in the Q&A section. But I did have one come through. It actually came through to me directly about if you gain access to all of these things. So now you've gone through, you've regained access. Should you start deleting people off your accounts right away? What is the best practice there, and how do you stay out of hot water with Facebook?
Yes. So I think the most important thing is, if you're going to go about deleting users on the account, you want to make sure that you are the admin on your business portfolio. So that's going to be, and I'm going to actually jump off my slides and go back in because I think the visuals here are the best. So if we are on here, the way that you would know is if you're under people, you would see all the users directly on here. If you find your name in here and you see that you are, so for instance, here's me, and you have full control, you see this right here, full control, everything to your page, you would then want to make sure anybody else that you need to is listed here. Before you start deleting users directly off the page, you want to make sure that you have access here, and any users that do access your page should have access now through this. This is how Facebook now wants you to give the access in that. You do have to be careful, and we do have another minute here, so I'm going to go as quickly as I can back to our page roles. And before you start deleting users, you want to make sure that you have the highest level or the same level as them. If you do not have the highest level, it actually won't let you delete additional users. So we're at page access here. So if I wanted to delete any of these users, it gives me the remove access. What you want to do is check what's written underneath, or even click on it. So you can see our user here has all of the full control. So if I removed him, if I don't have equal access, it wouldn't let me remove him. But I know that we have the business portfolio access, so I would be comfortable deleting these users. So that's just something that you want to check before you start removing users.
Thank you. And no other questions have come in, so I think we can get to the additional resources, because I think as you guys go through and start looking at all these different pieces, questions may come up. One of the best things you can do is scan that QR code and join our Facebook group. It's our insider group. We will answer any questions you have about social media and more in there. It's a great place to go. Usually if you have the question, so does somebody else. So jump on in and join that. Also, if you're a YPC Media customer, your account manager will give you a complimentary help session with your social media. You can just talk to them and they'll walk you through the process and what you've got going on there. But if it does get to the point, which it has happened to many people, where you need something else or the access is really wonky because you had an old intern create it and you no longer have access to that person, You could set up a one-on-one consulting session with Katie. You have that verified person who's gone through all the training to walk through with you and help you get the access that you need. But with that, we encourage you all to, again, join the Facebook group, ask us any follow-up questions. We will send this recording out hopefully by noon tomorrow, and we will add a little bit of an agenda to it. So if you need specific details from one spot in Meta, you can hop directly to that point in the webinar. We thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next month on our next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.